What you're about to hear is the stupidest thing any human has ever said. The craziest thing is, at the end of this video, is something even stupider. So buckle up.
What happens is when they get enough people in the smart city, this 5G IoT smart city development, then EMP, vaporise the city, take everything out, nothing left. I mean, vaporise everything. So you've got concrete just basically powders, you've got everything just bursts into flames, basically turn the whole place into a raging inferno.
Yeah, that was Mark Steele. He's a British anti-5G scammer. He scams people to join his farcical political party for a small monthly fee. So he tells them that he's an expert.
Very, very expert.
A very, very expert. He says that he's a weapons expert. He has no actual credentials. He just says it a lot. So here he is. He didn't just say that once. He said it multiple times. So here's another couple times that he said that very same thing.
Is to get you into a city, right, so they can actually murder you. And when they're finished murdering you, they can vaporise your body at the same time. Quite a clever little trick. Don't need to bury anybody. If I bounce enough microwave radiation into you, right, and then I fire an overburden, what's called an EMP, you just vaporise, nothing left of you.
Right, why didn't everyone in Grenfell vaporise then?
Well, because not everybody's charged enough, because I haven't got enough energy in them.
So how does he think that a 5G cell phone transmitter would vaporize people? Well, he doesn't really present any supporting evidence for that. Now, here's the deal. A normal 5G transmitter is somewhere between 50 and 100 watts of power. Watts, 50 to 100 watts. Now, your microwave oven in your house is 700 to 1,000 watts of power. Now, if you put water in there, just a cup of water, for several minutes, it won't boil, right? It takes time to boil the water. And he thinks like that you can vaporize it. It's basically, he's saying that these little 50 to 100 watt transmitters are more powerful than a nuclear bomb because he said it will actually vaporize the concrete as well.
Concrete just basically powders.
He has no idea about this particular topic, but that doesn't stop him from saying it over and over again.
The plan is they need you off the land, all right, because they're going to try and starve you out and force you into a smart city where they can basically just vaporise you, yeah, by using an EMP weapon system, mass increase in transmission network. That's the plan going forward.
So I can vaporise you with the same technology, the same microwave radiation energy. You're a hydrocarbon based product. And if I fill you full of microwave radiation from all the smart devices, smart meters, smart TVs, everything's smart, bounce your molecular structure out, and then I fire an EMP, you vaporise.
And of course, he talks about smart meters in a way that he doesn't understand either. Typically, they send out a very tiny amount, and usually just at night for a couple minutes to show what happened in the last 24 hours of usage for something. He has no clue about that either. That's not how it works. He provided no plausible mechanism for it at all, but he is a pseudoscientist, so I guess it's not surprising. No, here he comes, and he thinks it's actually been used, and listen to this accusation for how he says it was just used.
Like the 35 kids who are on a bus who just disappeared, who were vaporised. Because you see, if I've got enough microwave radiation, you're just basically a biological structure. Yeah, you're a hydrocarbon.
Now I looked, I could not find any news article about 35 children on a bus missing. But of course, if there's kids missing, Mark would just assume that it was vaporization, I suppose, because it fits his narrative and it scares people. So they might pay him that monthly fee he desires so badly. But anyway, here, it gets more crazy than that with a little larger number than 35.
People are being murdered in their homes. There are 20,000 plus people missing in Paradise in the USA, missing, being vaporised in their own homes. There's reports of 50,000 people missing. Now, I know I've had it all covered up, but go and look at the data, go and look at the people. The fact that the direct energy weapon was used, there was a direct energy weapon used in paradise.
Yeah, you heard that right. Mark Steele is claiming that 20,000, and then his story gets bigger, 50,000 people were vaporized with 5G. So says Mark Steele. Vaporized. So if that's not the stupidest thing you've ever heard, especially considering he didn't even look at the articles and the actual reporting on it, one person was missing and they think she was missing before. So there you go. Good job, Mark. You really messed that up. Anyway, that's not the stupidest thing in this video. I know it's hard to believe. You've been through a lot, but if you can give me one more stupid, here it comes.
This is another thing a lot of people don't understand. 5G's been around for a long, long time. You know, you can go back to the Ark of the Covenant, which is, you know, historical times.
Yeah, he did just say that the Ark of the Covenant was 5G. Let's let him elaborate a little more.
You can talk about, you know, the Ark of the Covenant. The Ark of the Covenant was potentially a similar type of weapon system. I mean, the evidence is there, and obviously people have to understand where they've got a lot of these secret weapons knowledge from, where a lot of those scientists got their weapons systems knowledge from. It was from a lot of the depictions and a lot of the hardware that was actually found in the Middle East. So it's not to say that we haven't been here once before. You know, I mean, obviously I like to stick to the science and the facts.
He just said he likes to stick to the science and the facts. After literally saying that the Ark of the Covenant was 5G directed energy weapon. The Ark of the Covenant. He must have thought that Raiders of the Lost Ark was a documentary. Somehow. Seriously. He really thinks that. Here's 2 more times where he says it.
So anything that focuses energy, I mean, the first weapon system that we had, well, if you want to go back in history, let's look at the Ark of the Covenant, because it's reported as that was a direct energy weapon. Most possibly could have been. All the historic reports of it, it sounds very much like that. I don't believe for 1 minute it was the first historic weapon system, and I believe it goes back a lot further. In fact, I know it does. If you only have to look at the references of the Ark of the Covenant, where it was actually rolled out, you know, these historical bits of information.
Yeah, historical bits of information. Of course they are, Mark Steele. So if that was not the stupidest thing that has ever come out of a human's face before, then please link it in the description, because I can't find anything stupider than Mark Steele claiming that the Ark of the Covenant was a 5G direct energy weapon. That's it. This is peak stupidity. For everywhere from here on in the rest of human history, nothing will be said that is stupider.